was an actual kid. Like, it's like, yes, Paul, but it was touched. Like, in training. Calm down.
Yeah. I wouldn't have been as upright. He wouldn't have been as upright in an actual game. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But then I was also like, this is just the response Paul wants.
It is, exactly.
I'm not going to say anything.
Don't feed the trolls.
Yeah.
So anthology series, yeah. Yeah, it reminded me of that Socializing on Sky used to be Fortitude.
This is a service X12.
So it was here.
Murrayfield.
They've been
Oh.
the way they do
We relatively recently moved to Scotland as well, so I was slightly thinking about before we get arrested. I was like, I just started assistant somewhere like this would be really bad.
assistant minister
Arrested, yeah.
Obviously got quite a good reaction.
You know, defrauding local farmer. I've been to Murrayfield for a wee bit. So we went to see Archie when he played Scotland France under 20s. That was at the Hive a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
That was fun. Loads of French actually, like a really good atmosphere.
Yes, considering before I found out, before I found out that you guys were coming, I was looking at just taking the train down.
Coming down, right, yeah.
And then I was thinking, well, if I could find some place to stay overnight,
Yeah.
like,
Come down last night.
yeah, maybe once in the boys game, but
Yeah. He had flu at the start of this week, so wasn't in the squad.
okay.
And then, so I think he's got a bit of an uphill battle to get back in apparently for the Devils game. In terms of people coming back from injury and where he's at in the pecking order, Paul said at least he knows where he stands, even if the logic doesn't always make sense. So who knows? But, you know, not much logic's going to make sense when it's your own son being told he's not top of the list. But actually, that's not true. Paul's more sensible than that. Although Emily's already booked her tickets to go to Italy, so I think they'll be hoping that that Archie does claw his way back into the match day 23. Planning on going with her parents.
When's that match?
It's the next round. So match week 4. So it's we've got the fallow week after this again, and then it's the one after that. So 4 nights time in Treviso. It is. Yeah, second weekend of March. Yeah. We're away. Myself and the girls are away. Speaking of friends weekend away for his church, which I've never been able to do with either ministry and then being like really ill. Going to Dingwall has meant this quarter's been more packed than we wanted it to be. But that was then a sort of conscious choice of this is a good way to serve Matty and Jodie.
Yeah.
You know their news? Yeah. He's one of those bus drivers. Not letting that car. Fair enough, actually. That car's they're just being cheeky. Yeah, they're doing all right. They're really looking forward to being back down here. Seeing people.
Well, there is the time off.
Yeah. And
not just selfishly because that we get to see them.
No. think for them as a young family, socially, I imagine it will be slightly different than the single, post-grad. We finally had them round for dinner last night. It's taken a long time. We really liked being with them, and they're really lovely family. Really interesting stories as well. Her grandfather's an evangelical Anglican bishop in Anglican, the Anglican Church in North America, so the Episcopalian Church. And he's from his family are all from his parents were converted from within Greek devout Roman Catholicism, and then he's found a real home in Anglicanism. It's quite interesting. We're doing classics and then going back to head up the classics department to the classical tradition.
Next stop, from Brae South.
Quite a bold paint job. With Ed the other day, back in Oz. They're really enjoying being back, he was saying, which is nice.
Next stop, Station Road.
A little bit. Trying to do a FaceTime
Oh, cool.
call or something. Haven't been able to yet.
Especially with the time difference, it's hard to sort.
Yeah, mainly our chat has been sending memes back and forth.
Okay.
Like there was one that was of a story of a 5 or 6 year olds that had gotten lost in the woods, and a bear her mothering instinct kicked in or something, and she laid next to him to keep him warm.
Wow.
And so then somebody
This is a real thing.
yeah.
Wow.
And somebody posted that saying this boy is destined to found an empire that'll last 1,000 years.
Yeah. That's quite something.
Yeah.
That's a serious story.
And you can imagine the kid just telling it so nonchalantly.
Yeah. Why is
Completely
everyone
unaware.
making such a big deal of this?
Yeah. Can you imagine the parents afterwards having to explain, no, don't trust wild animals. I know this one time this happened.
Yeah. Especially if you read the sort of right/wrong sort of fiction,
Yeah.
like in Encanto, have the miracle with the animals or whatever. That's
Yeah.
slightly random, but what looks like a proper sort of artisan bakery. I was thinking the other day, Becca and I were looking at, Becca was looking at various recipes. I'd love to nail down a time where we could, the three of us could have a shot at pizza in Brae I was telling you about.
Yeah.
If we just put a date in, then we can make it happen.
Yes.
Sort out a shopping list and see what we do. It'd be fun.
Just remind me what?
It's like basically candied, a lot of candied fruits, sweet white wine, like a masala wine. That's basically it. It's like a sort of, well, I mean dough, but it's like I think it's an enriched dough, making quite a chewy sort of tray bake. So it's quite interesting in terms of the ingredients. Yeah. It's just very different, very cool. And the other thing I wanted to mark your card about, in June the 20th, I want to say, so I think it's just a couple of days after Sandra's birthday. Have you come across Max Hastings? Yeah. His new book is coming out and he'll be doing a toppings event at St Andrews, which Kieran and I were knocking back and forth, because he and I went to one, we went to the last Anthony Beaver one. It's on a 1942 paratroop thing to capture a big radar station somewhere, is the book. But I was thinking that if we got a few people together, we could do a curry at ours and then go to the event. It'd be quite fun. Yeah, that'd be get a few World War II heads together. Yeah. And I was thinking actually, if we could advance, I might just ping it to Dan Charlton and say, like, because he loves coming back, and try and come that weekend. I mean, would you be up for that in principle? So it's a way out, but like.
I actually just bought his. Came out a couple of years ago on
Malta,
yeah.
Brilliant. Operation Pedestal.
Yeah.
I think he's excellent, actually. I think he's very good. Clearly one of these guys who's got like freakish work ethic / productivity. The amount they publish.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if he was one of those people that only needed 4 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
We're in the tiers behind them.
He's a man of pretty, serious means and stuff, so I imagine life is not too. You look at some of these things, there are certain factors in lifestyle that make it easier to be productive. It's a bit like, look at sometimes look at guys from the past who were ridiculously productive. But they had servants, whatever. Even simply that sort of thing.
He was talking about what he was saying that night. He's like, we told him because he's a big part of such a marathon, so he's a part of Switch. And he said, and I was asking because they've just fallen out with the mayor and stuff because they won't let them redo the stadium.
What exactly I was doing.
Not the big one, but the small one.
And
They used to play that
in
Park
Tottenham.
of France.
then
So they've said
solve the
ESG
operation
will
of
go
the
to top.
store.
So they've said,
And then they're like,
right, we'll go build someone
it's signed
somewhere
by
else.
law.
They're getting a big stink about it.
It's meant to be, yeah.
You see the Balkans on it, and they're saying that when you're building that stadium, you can't play in either.
I remember I should have done it a while. For a while, WH Smith had that, it's double that plus